Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling when you're just stuck at the
Oh,
gym?
yeah. Doing the same old routine.
Exactly. The bench presses, the curls,
Yeah.
week after week, and you hit that wall, right? Boredom sets in, or maybe your progress just stalls out completely.
It makes you wonder, like, is there a better way, a smarter approach to getting fit?
Well, that's exactly what we're exploring today on the Deep Dive. We've got a fantastic source to guide us. The New Rules of Lifting, Supercharged. It's by Lou Schuler, a fitness journalist, and Olin Cosgrove, who's a well-respected strength coach.
And right off the bat, it's important to get this, that this isn't just, a list of exercises. They call it a full training philosophy.
A philosophy. Okay, that sounds serious.
It is, in a good way. Our goal today is really to unpack what makes it supercharged. Why do they say it's such a potential game changer for pretty much anyone? Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or you've been lifting for years or if you want to gain muscle or lose fat.
So it aims higher than just telling you what exercises to do.
Absolutely. The book really tries to get you thinking like a coach, understanding the why behind the movements, not just going through the motions.
That makes sense. So supercharged, fully redesigned. What's the core difference here compared to maybe older lifting books or more traditional programs?
The really big shift, the foundational idea, is moving away from that body part split thinking.
You mean like chest day, back day, leg day?
Exactly that. Instead, this whole program is built around 6 foundational movement patterns.
6 patterns. Okay, what are they?
They are push, pull, squat, hinge, lunge, and rotation.
So thinking about how the body moves, not just which muscle is working.
Precisely. It's about training movements, not just muscles in isolation. The book argues this leads to a more balanced, more athletic body. Importantly, one that's more resistant to injury because you're working with your body's natural design.
That really flips the script on the typical gym approach. Okay, so for you listening, what does this actually look like in practice? We're going to break down some key parts of the supercharged system today.
Yeah, well, look at how you can customize your workouts, this really clever system they have.
And the structure, right? It progresses through different phases.
4 distinct phases. And also the sheer number of exercise options they give you. That's a big one. It means you can adapt it to basically any situation, whatever equipment you've got.
Okay, let's talk about that customization first, because that sounds really appealing. They call it the build your own workout plan.
Yeah, and the analogy they use, which I think is perfect, is like Lego blocks for fitness.
Lego blocks, I like that. So you get the basic structure.
Right. The foundational movement patterns are your framework. And then you get to choose which specific blocks, which exercises you plug into that framework.
Based on what? Your level.
Your level, definitely. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. But also your specific goals. Are you aiming for strength, size, fat loss? And crucially, what equipment do you actually have access to?
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because so many programs just assume you have a fully stocked gym.
Exactly. Traditional plans often force you to fit their strict requirements. This flips it. You build the plan that fits you using those movement patterns as the building blocks. It's less about just being told what to do and more about intelligently constructing your own path.
So it really empowers the user. Makes it feel less like a prescription and more like a toolkit.
That's a great way to put it, a toolkit. It makes quality training genuinely accessible, regardless of where you're starting or what gear you have.
And it's not just building one workout, right?
Yeah.
There's a bigger picture. You mentioned the 4 phases. It progresses logically.
It provides a roadmap. It starts with what they call the break-in phase.
Break-in sounds like what is easing you in.
Pretty much. It's all about preparing your body, learning the movements correctly, building that base safely.
Yeah.
Getting the form down before you start piling on the weight.
Which is something a lot of people probably skip, right? They just jump into lifting heavy.
Way too often, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where injuries happen. So this foundational phase is critical for long-term success and staying healthy.
Okay, so after the break-in, where do you go?
Then you move into the strength phase. This is where the focus shifts to, getting stronger. Developing that raw power, refining your technique with heavier loads.
Building the engine, basically.
Exactly. It builds that foundation for whatever comes next.
And I bet a lot of listeners are interested in building muscle size. Does the program cover that specifically?
It does. That's the hypertrophy phase. Hypertrophy just means muscle growth.
Right.
So this phase is tailored for increasing muscle mass, improving body composition. But again, it does this using those fundamental movement patterns, not just endless isolation curls. So you're building muscle that's also functional.
Functional and looks good. presumably.
That's the idea. And then finally, there's the fourth phase, which offers a bit of a choice. Fat loss athleticism.
So you can tailor it even at the end.
Yeah. Depending on your main goal at that point, you can either focus the training more towards maximizing fat burn, or you can shift towards improving things like speed, agility, overall athletic performance.
Wow. Okay, so it really guides you through different stages, adapting to different goals along the way. Break-in, strength, hypertrophy, and then fat loss or athleticism. Seems very thorough.
It is. It provides a clear, sustainable pathway for progress.
Now, something you touched on earlier, and I think this is a really big selling point, is the equipment issue. Lots of people worry, I don't have a big fancy gym, or I only have a few dumbbells at home.
Right. And that's often a huge barrier for people sticking with a program.
So how does Supercharged handle that? You mentioned exercise variations.
This is where the system really shines, I think. It's versatility. For every single one of those 6 movement patterns, push, pull, squat, hinge, lunge, rotation, the book doesn't just give you one exercise, it gives you multiple options.
Multiple options, like different difficulty levels.
Exactly. Variations from beginner level all the way to advanced. Options using just your body weight. Options for dumbbells, kettlebells, resistance bands, cables, barbells, even machines if you have them.
So whatever you've got, you can probably find a way to do a push, a pull, a squat, etc.
Pretty much, yes. The book lays it all out. It essentially makes effective training possible almost anywhere. As they say, home workouts can be just as effective as gym workouts if you have the right structure and variations.
That adaptability is huge. It removes a major excuse, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes consistency so much easier because you can always modify the plan to fit your circumstances rather than having to skip workouts because you don't have the right equipment.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've covered a lot about the new rules of lifting, Supercharged. If we were to recap the core value here, it sounds like it's definitely not about just following the latest fitness trend.
Not at all. It's not about quick fixes or those generic one-size-fits-all plans you see everywhere.
It's more about intelligent training.
Yeah, intelligent strength training. Based on solid principles of how the human body is actually designed to move, it offers a smarter path to getting stronger and fitter.
And a big benefit seems to be breaking free from workout boredom, right?
Yeah.
Moving away from just isolating muscles.
Absolutely. It encourages a more athletic, more engaging way to train. You're building strength that actually helps you in everyday life or in sports, not just strength for pushing a bar in the gym.
Plus, that personalization factor, the Lego blocks idea, seems incredibly powerful.
Building your own plan based on your level, your goals, your equipment. That makes fitness truly accessible and sustainable.
And the journey it lays out with those 4 phases, break-in, strength, hypertrophy, fat loss, athleticism, gives you a logical path forward.
Right. It ensures your progress isn't just random guesswork. It's structured, safe, and effective over the long haul.
And finally, that versatility from all the exercise variations, that's key for real-world application.
Definitely. It means anyone, busy, professional, weekend athlete, someone just getting back into it can make this work. You can train effectively pretty much anywhere it adapts to your life.
Which really brings us to the bottom line, doesn't it? Why this approach matters.
It's about sustainable long-term results, not those flashy 30-day challenges that don't last. It's about finding a way to train that genuinely fits your life, instead of trying to force your life to fit around some rigid, impractical plan.
It's about working with your body, not against it.
Well said. It's rooted in biomechanics and smart programming.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive today, here's something for you, the listener, to think about. A final provocative thought, perhaps.
Okay, let's hear it.
How might your entire relationship with exercise change if you shifted your focus? If you stopped thinking primarily about isolated muscles, biceps, chest, quads, and started thinking about those fundamental human movement patterns: push, pull, squat, hinge, lunge, rotation.
That's interesting. Moving from parts to patterns.
Yeah. Could focusing on how your body is designed to move fundamentally alter not just your physical results, but maybe your whole understanding of what your body can do, its capability, its resilience?
It makes you think about fitness differently, more holistically.
Exactly. So consider how integrating that kind of approach, focusing on movement patterns, might redefine your own fitness journey. Could it be the key to making it more sustainable, more effective, and maybe even helping you reach peak performance in a way you hadn't considered before? Something to ponder.